Hey guys, sorry about that siren. Here it comes. Happy Sunday night. So we are going to be doing a live channeling session. So I'm just going to take the first couple minutes and channel spirit real quick, and then we'll get started. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask, please feel free to ask them. It can be anything: spiritual, law of attraction, universal laws, relationship wise, anything. So let me just channel in, tap in. Woo. All right. I love when I can feel the energy change. And it's like, well, there it is. Okay. So I'm just going to start by channeling some messages. Sometimes I just feel that maybe, people are afraid to start asking questions. And so I'll just start channeling maybe what someone needs to hear that's listening right now. Okay, so Spirit definitely wants me to talk about the grief process and loss. If you are completely transforming into a new self, you have to die to the old self, right? You have to let go of the way you used to do things, the way you used to be. And there's stages to that, just like there is to a spiritual awakening, right? So in a spiritual awakening, you're going to have phases. Usually, spiritual awakening is the birth of your higher self or your best, most authentic self. And that can take some time, Yeah, there's a lot of grief and sadness going on right now. So maybe that's for whoever's on, or Spirit just wants me to talk about it. But how do you handle grief, right? You come to a place of ultimate acceptance of that grief. And there's stages through that, right? It's like a rebirth of yourself. So those stages can be challenging. There's anger, there's denial, there's sadness, and then there's acceptance, right? So I think a lot of people are going through this kind of rebirthing phase right now, and coming to an acceptance of what is their best path. So if you are going through any of that and having a hard go of it, I'm totally right there with you. Right there with you. And just working through it together. So if you have any questions about your spiritual journey, about your the law of attraction, about anything, just go ahead and ask. So there's a lot of surrender in this, right? There's a lot of surrender in transformation. And when you surrender yourself to the divine, okay? When you surrender yourself to the divine, then, and you're not trying to go the way you want it to go, and you are going the way that is best suited for the collective, the whole, the group, it's hard sometimes to let go of what your ego mind thought was, right? Okay. So a good question. How can one handle loneliness? Well, I will tell you. My spiritual awakening journey was the last 5 years. And the last 3 years has been the most difficult, where I chose to go it really alone, or thinking I was alone. So I felt lonely quite a bit. I just became very comfortable being lonely. So I really worked with spirit a lot, and that's what helped me to get out of loneliness, because really you're never alone. So if you are willing to allow spirit to be with you, talk to you, comfort you, walk you through things, then it gives you something to do in those moments where you feel alone. A lot of my time was just silent meditation. Really helped me, because when I could sense God inside of me, around me, through me, I knew that I wasn't alone, and it was a beautiful experience to be alone. Then I got to the point where I really just wanted to be alone. And now they're breaking me out of that shell, and they're like, no, you got to get out there. You got to socialize. You need to integrate back into the world. You can't be a hermit forever. So I got really comfortable in that place of loneliness. But finding more self-love. And the more self-love you can find, it basically overcomes any loneliness. And self-love doesn't just mean like a bath or toenail paint or go get a facial. That's self-care. That's awesome. You got to do that, right? But self-love is different in that it is truly falling in love with who you are. And when you fall in love with who you are, you'll never be lonely again. To fall in love with who you are, you have to get quiet and be with yourself. So, self-love. If you guys have any questions, just shout them out. I'm going to pull cards, fully just channel messages. So, Spirit, what does someone need to hear right now? What's the message that someone needs to hear right now? Okay. So, I'm just pulling cards, and I'm just going to read out some messages. And that could be someone who needs to hear that on this live. That's totally cool. Sorry, let me get some water. So, okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about shadow work, because I just pulled some cards and they're really wanting me to talk about understanding this process of death, rebirth, but having to face your shadow. Okay? In the process of death and rebirth, letting go of something and being reborn to something else, there is that process in between where you have to look at what's hidden in your subconscious mind. Okay? That is what shadow work is, and that is what I help people with. But the thing about it is, when you can understand that it's simply just that, like what's in your subconscious mind holding you back, it's actually the most precious gift you could get. Okay? It is beyond words incredible, because when you see your shadow self, now you know who you can truly be, because you're going to release all of that or integrate it, and then you can shine as who you're meant to be. So I love that. Is there any more messages with the spirit? Yeah. Okay. So keep asking your questions. I'm just going to keep channeling any more messages from spirit for anyone that's watching. Yeah. How are you guys? There is so much energies going on right now with, I mean, we got 2 eclipses ending the year. We got a lot of stuff changing quickly. And I know the major shift that I just had it's incredibly beyond words as well. But I know a lot of people are going through these really like altering shifts, like completely going on another path. Okay. All right. So message coming through for someone who's watching. All right. There's someone who's moving away from a situation that, and again, this just goes back to what we're all kind of going through right now, moving away from situations and learning to starting something new, like building new skills. Like myself, right? I just started doing these channeling sessions 2 weeks ago. And the reason that I'm doing them is to get stronger in my belief in myself and my trust in spirit, and just to bring a healing energy out to the world. And I'm so grateful that I get to do this, so I'm really excited, but it's helping me to develop and practice. So I'm just loving that we're all like, it's like the same message, but just a little bit different for everyone. So deciding to really hunker down and get into your craft. That is going to be the completion of a long journey for someone that I'm speaking to right now. Yeah. Okay. I'm just feeling this really strong. Hold on one second. All right. So when you are in this mode of trying to be someone that you're not, that becomes a comfort zone. And Spirit right now has shown a lot of us through these new full moon energies, illuminated your true path and what is for your highest good. And a lot of times that can be challenging, right? So someone is deciding to really let go, to finally release that, and to dive in and learn something new. And that's going to bring about the completion of something. I love that. Okay. Let's keep on going. If you have any questions, put them in the chat, and I will get to any questions. Any messages from Spirit that you would like to know, anything at all. All right. Okay. Let's pull 2 more cards, please. So, yeah. All right. So we have some defensive energy coming out. And that can be from being hurt, being on your guard. Okay. All right. This is a really cool message. Okay. So talking about that defensive energy, that comes from a negative, toxic place where you have felt offended or wronged or hurt by someone in the past. And so what we do then is we guard ourselves from any situation like that in the future. So that's how we, handle these things, is our subconscious mind is only there to protect us, and it will do just that. So if you have a hurt and that similar situation comes up, you're going to be on your guard. So, but there is a lot of victory over this type of energy right now, this really defensive energy. And all it really takes is just the awareness that you're on your guard, that you're being defensive. And you can, as soon as you become aware of it, like, gosh, why am I like so snappy? Why am I getting so angry? What is going on? You know that there's something out of alignment. Okay. And just becoming aware that there's something out of alignment, you can ask Spirit, what is out of alignment? What can I do? Or just show me how to get back into alignment. That's really cool. And I think so many people don't understand how the law of attraction works. And the law of attraction is working at all times. It is a universal law. It's like the law of gravity. That's working at all times. Some people think that they have to do all these things to get it to work. No, that's not how it works. But you are attracting into your life what your subconscious mind truly believes, right? So if you're not attracting what you want, then you need to look into your subconscious mind. And that is shadow work. So we're doing a live channeling session. I'm just channeling Spirit, and any questions that you have, you can go ahead and ask, and I will channel for you. So I'm just asking for messages for anyone who is out there or maybe watching this later, or whatever spirit wants me to talk about right now. I just felt like this wave of pain come over me. So anxiety, big anxiety. So someone out there is feeling very anxious. And I mean, okay. This may have to do with the spiritual awakening. If you are having a lot of trouble with your spiritual awakening and you're having a lot of anxiety about it, let me know. Make a comment. Okay. So, message that's coming through right now. Okay. Okay. So, Erin, but why do you say we're defensive? Maybe it's you who's defensive. I suffer from antisocial anxiety. Okay. No, what I was just bringing forth was a message that there's defensive energy. And I was explaining how that can bring about, that comes from a place of hurt. And I know because I was at one point very defensive and on my guard. So let's talk about this. If you have a lot of social anxiety, so do I. So do you have a specific question about your specific issue or? Anxiety. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would love to channel a message to help you with your healing if you'd like. You go ahead and put a question, though, in the chat so I can. Hey, guys. Okay. So. No, you're fine. You're totally fine. You didn't. That's okay. Maybe you jumped in right as I was saying that. That's totally cool. Yeah, ask me a question. Whew. How was your guys' Halloween? Was it good? I have 3 kids, so I took them out to a little party that my partner's family had, and we had so much fun. The kids got to have so much fun, so that was cool. They still got to dress up and have fun and get candy, so it was a lot of fun. So let's just talk about anxiety in general. I think that because there was a time where I had a lot of anxiety, and it came from a place of being traumatized by people that I thought I could trust in my life. And so it came from a lot of, I'm going to tell you my story. So very, very close family members of mine, I thought that I could trust them and open up to them and be myself with them. And what happened was not that. And they really just couldn't love me back in that way. And so they did some very traumatic things. And I had a lot of anxiety because I was so afraid of people. Like literally, I was afraid of everyone, because if someone that close to me could do that, then why wouldn't everyone else? And I really kind of went inside myself, and I just lost all trust in people. And so I was so super defensive and had the worst anxiety because I had been so hurt, and I didn't know how to let that go. Couple ways I let it go. One, I had to accept the reality that those people were who they were, and they were not going to change. The other thing I had to come to accept was that it wasn't my issues why they did that. It was their own, right? Once I came to understand that the reason they did what they did had nothing to do with me, that was their problem, not mine. You don't trust people. Exactly. I did not trust people because I was in this, like, it was my dad, my sister, and my ex. And it was really, really difficult. It was like, when people like that completely disrespect you and they hurt you in a way that is beyond words, you literally lose trust in people. So for about 2.5 years, I went into a hermit mode where I had a lot of anxiety. Yeah. Okay. So thank you. I'm happy that you enjoyed your holiday. I don't trust people. My social anxiety doesn't allow it. Oh, yeah. No, I feel you. And I will say this. I'm going to give you some hope here because I absolutely have been there. The only person that I had in my life was my boyfriend, and I could barely even trust him, and I would, yeah. So, yes. And I could barely even trust him. I held him way far out, but it was like he was a lifeline for me to be able to kind of stay grounded in reality, so I didn't really kind of go off a deep end. But yeah, no, I trust me. This has been, so I know exactly what you're feeling. So that when that happens to you, it's you have to get back to the root of the problem. Okay. So I had to walk backwards through a lot of pain to see what happened to cause that, right? To cause me to have such bad anxiety and to distrust all people. I literally thought everybody was out to hurt me. They were going to do something. It was just like waiting for the bottom to drop out. I'm completely healed of that, I will tell you. And I want to give you some hope because Spirit will take you through a process to heal you if you are open and willing to that. And really, honestly, like, I had to find the root cause of where I took on the hurt instead of knowing that it was their issue. Because it was never even though they did what they did, I had to come to this place. Yeah. Okay, Erin, I'm totally talking to you. And I'm just right there with you. So I want to speak to you about this. You don't trust anyone except your mom and your sister. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So what I had to do was go back and look at that place of the root cause when it really happened to me. And when I look at that place, for all of those different people, when I looked at that place, I had to do a lot of shadow work, but I came to this realization that I took on the hurt. Like, I chose to allow the hurt into my heart, and to my subconscious mind then really tried to protect me at all costs from that moment forward. And so when I went back and said, you know what, I'm going to choose a different path from that moment, and I'm not going to take on that hurt. And I'm going to stand up for myself and say, you know what? It was never okay for you to do this to me, and it's not okay now. Even if I couldn't speak to them directly, I wrote letters, and I wrote in a journal, and that brought back a lot of self-confidence and trust in myself. So I had to build trust in myself, and then I was able to start trusting people again, because now I know that no matter what is said or done around me, I can handle the situation internally, to where I don't take a hurt into my subconscious mind and then guard myself or have extreme anxiety. So it does take some work, but yeah, you accept the pain. Yes, I did. And that's what caused all of that anxiety, and especially anxiety with the world and with other people. It was really, really rough, but I'm so healed. I have stood up and I have said, you know what? I don't need you in my life. And if you're going to disrespect me and treat me like this, then you're no longer in my life. And I've had to cut those people out of my life. And since I've done that, oh my gosh, the anxiety, the stress, the being afraid has dissipated, and I was able to heal, but only since I, got those people out of my life. And I did it in a very kind way. I was just like, I'm sorry, but I deserve better. Okay. So I hope that helps you. We have a message definitely coming through here. So I want to talk about this. Okay. There are some new ideas coming out. There is some completion of, there's a divine feminine completion here. And you are so welcome. You're so welcome. Absolutely. And that's okay. Good for you. Therapy is anytime you can talk and express and get that stuff out of you is super healing, and I love it. Awesome. Okay, so a message coming through is about the divine feminine right now. Divine feminine is nurturing, emotional, really the caring, loving aspects of ourself that and that almost that motherly energy, right? And this can be in male or female. It's in all of us, but it doesn't necessarily mean a female. It is an energy that is very nurturing and caring. And I think that has a lot to do with what we were just talking about. I'm totally like Spirit is connecting this to anxiety, which is crazy because I would not even, but they're just showing me that when you are super loving and nurturing to yourself and your spirit, that's when a lot of this anxiety can kind of fall away. And that's exactly what happened with me. Is as soon as I started loving myself more than caring what they thought, it was like, oh my God, I felt so much better. So once I started loving myself more than caring what other people thought of me, it was like, it was a game changer. I have a quote on my wall that says, she chose herself and the game changed. And I am totally all about that, because the day that I stopped catering to other people and started nurturing and loving myself is the day that the game changed. So awesome. All right, you guys, if you have any questions that you specifically want answered, anything at all, are you guys going through spiritual awakening? Are you done with all that? What's going on? What's going on? Any messages for people out there right now? What would you like me to talk about, Spirit? Okay, we got some flyers. We got some flyers. My late father always told me positive thinking brings positive results. Yes, it is true. Positive thinking will bring positive results. But that anxiety and social anxiety that I had to go heal the root cause, because it just kept coming. But once I healed the root cause, my subconscious mind was so used to focusing on, like, oh my God, the same thing's going to happen as my past, right? I had to really learn how to focus on the past is gone. This is a new situation. I can handle things. And I started telling my subconscious mind that I was safe. And that really helped me to change the path that I chose in those similar situations. So that really helped. All right. So messages from the divine. You're so welcome. Thank you for being on with me and conversing with me. I love it. I'm just channeling messages and really perfecting my channeling abilities, as well as helping you guys to connect and get some answers to your questions. So, all right, message coming through. Let's see. So, yeah, okay. So there is an energy for someone who is watching, or maybe will watch later, but really about being so sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I mean just that. Like, I can feel that. Like, I'm just so tired of being the way that I am. Like, I need to be like, I'm just so tired of it. I don't care whatever. If I have to jump outside of my comfort zone, I'm going to jump outside of my comfort zone to get the result that I'm looking for. Let me get some clarification on that, because that's the message. If that's you, shout out, send me a comment, because I'm really feeling that someone is just like, I'm so sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I'm just going to go for it. And there's okay, I'm feeling this really strong from spirit. So there's a part of you that knows that there's going to be a few difficult action steps to take, and you are absolutely ready to jump into those. You're ready to dive in, and it's a beautiful energy because it's finally like, it hurts so bad. This situation, it hurts so bad. And it's like, it's, you know, when you pull a rubber band and then you release it, it's like that moment of release, right? Yes. So this message is for someone that is just, I feel like it has to do with something with maybe a spiritual business, or maybe coming out of the spiritual closet. Let me know if that's you, because I have a lot of experience with coming out of the spiritual closet. Yeah. I can't tell you. Okay, I said I was going to clarify. Hold on, let me clarify, guys. Yes, coming out of the spiritual closet. What do we got? You know, that's when you are branching into the area of healing that is the right path for you, but for your friends and family to start knowing that you are more spiritual or wanting to dive into this certain path. I feel some like really bad tension there, but you're ready to, there you are. Hello, Sophia. Yes. I mean, girl, I can feel it. I just feel like you are like, and that's what I mean, like the rubber band, and you were like, nope, I'm going to go for it. I'm just going to talk about it today, or tell my mom today. And you did it. Congratulations. Awesome. That's awesome. It takes a lot of courage to stand up and talk about spirituality to some people. I know I have some very religious people in my life, and they were not okay with this. And you know what? I had to get very strong with them and say, listen, I accept you and your beliefs for who you are. Oh, good. It went really well. And she said she always felt pulled toward. Yay! That's awesome. Congratulations. Eee! I'm so excited for you. I just got like all giddy because that is so exciting. It's like, you know, you have that freedom to be you. And I know how that feels. So yeah, kind of back to mine. Mine was not so easy, but I had a lot of people that came against me and told me it was evil. I was the devil, that it was demonic. And I will tell you, I fell to those lies. I started believing, this was about 4 years ago. And it took about 4 months. And then I started believing that was true. And it's crazy. My whole story should be like a movie or a book, but I fell to those energies. And there's a lot of people out there saying this. I just had someone write this on my video the other day, that the new age is demonic. You should watch my testimony to Jesus. And what I want to say to that is just this. I did fall to those energies, and I believed that for about 2 years. And then I became the one who was spitting that fear out as well. Because it is fear. And I ran into a church and I learned the Bible, and I was so afraid that there was something wrong with me. And so what happened is Jesus literally saved me from that and brought me right back to my spirituality. And I'm not even joking. And you know what? I'm not kidding you, because when I was channeling, I have the same spiritual gifts that I've always had. You can call them psychic, you can call them prophetic. To me, it's the same thing. And when I was in that church period for 2 years, Jesus told me, like, you need to be you. And you'll never be happy if you don't get back on the path that brings you the most joy. And so I started doing that. And I had those same people who loved me when I was Christian to telling me again how demonic I am and the enemy and all this stuff. And I finally had to stand up and say, you know what? This is who I am. You can either accept me or not. That's your choice. And sadly, they didn't. But that's their choice. And that's okay. I am okay with that, because I would much rather have a tribe of people around me that are like you, Sophia, because that's what's going to raise our vibration up together, right? Like, I don't care if I have to lose the people who I thought would always be in my life. I'm talking close family members. If I have to lose those people because they can't accept me for me, that's their problem. Did it hurt? Hell yes. I'm not going to sit here and say I cried and cried, but I cried it out. And then I pulled up my big girl panties and said, you know what? I'm pulling out my cards. I'm going to channel spirit, because let me tell you, Jesus is way cool. Just saying. He really is. But I am so happy for you, Sophia. And I could really feel that energy. Like you were just like, I'm going. I don't care. I got to just do it. So I wish you all the luck on your spiritual business, practice, whatever you feel like doing. That's awesome. Fear is a definition that controls us. Yeah. It's tricky too. Fear is very tricky. All of those insecurities and doubt, and they're all very tricky. The key to discernment is really knowing thyself, right? And I don't know which spiritual guru said this, but they said, know thyself, and then you'll know the world, or something like know thyself, right? And that is because when you know who you are without a doubt inside, like without society conditioning coming in, like, okay, unplug from that, unplug from the matrix, and really be in a place of finding you. Nothing can harm you, touch you, shake you if you know who you are. Because all the outside people will test to see who you are. But when you know who you are, you can't be moved or shook or, and so that's what I've spent the last few years doing, is really learning who I am. And so I was able to stand up and say, this is who I am. Do you accept me or not? It's a great way to be kind about it, but to be firm and to stand your ground and not let that fear come in. Because, see, God said, I created all things. All right. So I'm clarifying this message. That's so awesome, Sophia. I'm like, yay. All right. Do you guys have any questions? Being alone is my biggest fear, and suffering from antisocial disorder feels desperate. Okay, hold on one second. Yeah. Being alone used to be a fear of mine until I said I took that time to truly find out who I was. Then it became like a job, really. Like, okay, this is cool. I get to just discover me. So that's what I did in that time. And then you don't fear it so much because you're just so excited to be with you. All right. So, oh, I love it. Okay. So I just totally clarified that message that Sophia came forward and said. And it's just basically like walking away from the mental tricks that are going on in your head because you finally just stood up and had a conversation about it. And it's really leading you to ultimate happiness, which is awesome. So cool. Hey guys. Hi. So yeah, if you have any specific questions you would like to ask, I'm just channeling messages from Spirit, full channeling, and then I'll pull some cards for confirmation. But this just helps me to socialize with you guys and also practice because I love doing this. So if you have any questions, let me know. Let me know. I love Periscope, by the way. Periscope's awesome, you guys. Seriously. All right. Any messages for people that are watching right now or may watch later? All right. Let's see. Okay. Let me pull one more here. Oh, hello. All right. 1 second. Okay. All right. Hermit, Knight of Wands. Okay. So Spirit wants me to talk about alignment again. And being in alignment with yourself is where you are following that inner light inside of you. And I want to be clear about this. That inner light is not your best friend, is not your mom, is not your brother, is not your partner. It is not anything outside of yourself. When you are following that inner guidance and light inside of you, that is alignment. Okay, when you're following that. So there is a really fast moving energy coming in because when you get out of that place of alignment and you start following maybe society, or it happens so quickly because there's so much going on in the world, right? And that's okay. Spirit will get you back on your path, but someone is just holding on way too tight, guarding your heart. And what happens when you do that, it brings about tower moments where out of the blue, these just shocking events happen where you're just like, oh my God, not again. The reason those happen is so that they're really opportunities for you to completely shift your energy and grow from that moment. The tower moments that I went through the last 3 years have been out of control, insane. But every time that they happened, I took a step back and I was like, okay, where's the lesson? What can I integrate so that this doesn't happen again? And every time it was a beautiful energy of being honest with myself. Okay. So I feel that someone really needs to get honest with themselves about who they are. If you are hiding yourself for other people, you will encounter these tower moments because it is spirit trying to wake you up. Like, this tower moment's going to happen so that you can see this is not the path, like this is not the way. So I just really feel like someone okay, yeah, you're afraid to trust your inner light because you're like, there's some fear of what other people may think about you or what's going on. So you're just closed off. And guarded. So if that is anyone, the quicker you can go within and start tapping into that inner guidance and following that light, you can avoid these tower moments, right? So it's all about choice. You always have choice. So if you absolutely know that you're doing this, right? You're like, oh my God, like, this is like, I'm not being myself. I'm kind of following the crowd and doing whatever. You have a choice to quickly change that and stop doing that and follow what lights you up before you have some tower moments. And if you do have the tower moments, learn from them. I think so many people get this card and they think, oh my God, like it's going to hit the fan. But really, the good in that is that you get to see the lesson from it. And then you go, okay, I got it. I won't do that again. Right? All right. So I'm just going to take one more question. You guys, I do this for about an hour and then I will do another session on Wednesday. I'm doing it Wednesdays and Sundays right now. Thank you for being on with me. I will take one more question. If anyone has a question that they want a card pull for or just a direct message from Spirit, just write it in the comments. If not, I will ask Spirit what someone may need to hear. Okay, so let me clarify real quick because I just feeling like someone's carrying too much emotions and feelings of other people as theirs. You may be very empathic, very empathic. So I'm very empathic as well. And I struggled with this But I took those energies and I thought they were my own. And so there was all this heaviness over me. And it was like my own mind was attacking me from these thoughts and feelings. So I just want to pull a couple clarifying cards. But if you're just feeling really stressed out, really heavy, like mind confusion, that's what I'm feeling, like this mind confusion. Then the more than likely you are taking on other people's energies. Okay. Okay, yeah. As soon as you let go of this message is definitely for someone very empathic. As soon as you let go of that burden of carrying other people's feelings and emotions, you truly are going to come into union with your spirit. It's like divine feminine, divine masculine in yourself that comes into union. And it's a really amazing creative energy from that space. So I'll say, how do I let go of that? Whenever I just kind of feel this heaviness come over me, or this, like, my mind starts racing with thoughts that are of other people, or of what people think of me, or things like that, I know that I have empathically soaked up their energies, because that's not coming from my own self, right? Like, so I just literally say to myself that I speak to these thoughts right now. They are not mine, and I release all emotions, feelings, and energies of this person, that person, of anyone other than myself. And I release it to my angels for transmutation into love. And that's what I say. And it's like I release it. And then I can come back into clarity and into myself and into a place of creativity again. So I hope that helps someone empathic, because that is really what bogs down empaths is taking on the emotions, the feelings, and the thoughts of other people. We can literally feel those people's thoughts and emotions on a subconscious level. Even if they're not saying those things, we can feel them. So releasing those things, because they're not yours to carry. And that's why empaths just get so overly emotional, overwhelmed, depressed, overeating, because it's like these emotions, we just can't handle them, but they're not yours. That's the good news. So, okay, so a question: how do you know if you are an empath? Well, I first realized people have, trust me, I watch so much stuff about empaths, and none of it really sounded like me. There was some of it did, but some of it didn't. But here's what I really started to understand as an empath myself. Spirit kind of showed me, but through crystals. this is how I realized I truly was an empath and empathic. So I can take a crystal and I can put it in my hand. And I can close my eyes for a second. There it is. I can literally feel the energy of this crystal absorbing, like I can absorb the energy. It is a feeling inside of my body. I can literally feel it, the energies come over my body. When I go into a crystal store, I can get sometimes super overwhelmed, dizzy, lightheaded, because all that energy at once, I can almost get nauseous. So that is how I absolutely knew that I was empathic, and I can do it with any crystal. So for me, that's how I absolutely knew. But also, Spirit had showed me when I was a little girl and I would meet people, it was like, they would say, hi, I'm so-and-so. And I would go, hi. And they would be smiling and laughing and saying one thing, but I could literally feel their truth from their subconscious mind, meaning I could feel if they were really afraid. I could feel their energy of their resistance, maybe to other people in the room. So I remember that as a girl. And that's exactly how Spirit showed me empathics truly are. So I'll just someone can be telling me that they're having a great day and all this, and I can literally see the truth. So and the reason that empaths have that is so that we can heal, right? Because you can be telling me all this, but I can literally feel the truth of what you need healed. That's why I call myself an intuitive energy healer, because I can feel what needs to be healed in someone on an intuitive level, if that makes sense. So empaths absorb energy for that reason. But that's how I knew for sure myself. I hope this has helped you guys. I'm going to sign off and go hang with my kids, but I will do another session for you guys on Wednesday. And yeah, I would love for you guys to come back. I also do a daily gratitude ritual around noon, so you can check that out as well. So have a great night, and I will see you guys on Wednesday. Bye.